Hey there everybody, Hero TJ joins the battle.
Welcome to another episode of Smash Switch Speculation. Now, while I loved every episode that we've done so far, honestly, I've been waiting for this one for some time. A subject that isn't just near and dear to my heart, but, I'm Amiibo Jason, it's my namesake too. That's right guys, today we are talking all about Amiibo and what they could bring to Smash Bros. On the Nintendo Switch.
Amiibo were first introduced alongside Smash Wii U in November of 2014, and were an instant success, selling out stores worldwide. Using near-field communication technology, tapping an Amiibo figure to the Wii U gamepad allowed that figure to join the battle in Smash. They could be trained, you could team up with them, battle against them, buff them with special items, customize their movesets, and even influence their playstyle depending on how you train them. And all your hard work in progress is stored right to the figure, even allowing you to scan them into a different Wii U or 3DS to challenge a friend. The fight algorithms were intuitive and adaptive, making a level 50 Amiibo far more difficult to defeat than a level 9 computer. While Amiibo weren't required to play Smash, they added a deeper level of personal integration with the game. Only 12 Smash Bros. Amiibo were available at launch, but right out of the gate, Nintendo committed to producing a figure for every single fighter, including generic Mii models and all the DLC characters. Even though it took 2.5 years, Nintendo eventually made good on that promise. No one can deny that Amiibo have been wildly successful for Nintendo, and that's mostly thanks to the Smash line with its diverse cast of characters spanning all of Nintendo's beloved and even obscure franchises. Amiibo expanded from figures to plushes to cards, even a cereal box. But some might say Amiibo have since fallen out of fashion. Where Smash Switch is concerned, will Nintendo attempt to replicate the successful figure formula, or will they attempt to reinvent the wheel?
Now, the way I see it, Nintendo could go several ways with Amiibo and Smash Bros. On Switch. Stay the course and release new figures for any newcomers, create an entire Player 2 line like we've seen with Cloud, Corrin, and Bayonetta, and essentially re-release the entire Amiibo line, create something new like cards, or scrap Amiibo altogether. Now, while I think the scrapping option is pretty unlikely, the other three are definitely real possibilities. Now, once we figure out what form Amiibo are going to take this time around, we also have the task to ponder what changes we might see to gameplay as well. So, without further ado, let's speculate. Nintendo definitely has a few options when it comes to Amiibo. Now, the easiest way would be to go create a new figure for any newcomer. We already know that the Inklings and Breath of the Wild Link are fighters this time around, so figures for these characters should be a given. But why would Nintendo limit themselves to only a few new figures when die-hard Amiibo collectors like myself and TJ would be willing to shell out some serious money to repurchase every fighter again? I mean, Nintendo does like money, right? So you're asking Amiibo Jason, how would this work? Well, the Player 2 line of Amiibo is a good place to start. Nintendo has proven that there is a market for alternate skin Amiibo when they released Cloud, Corrin, and Bayonetta Player 2 Amiibo last summer. Heck, we even saw a release of Rob the Robot in its Japanese colors in the US too, and people loved it. So, my first prediction for Smash Switch is that Nintendo is going to introduce the Player 2 line of Amiibo for all existing fighters in Smash Switch. That's right, a new figure for every fighter. Personally, I would love to see alternate costumes for all of my favorite Amiibo, and the thought of collecting them again fills my heart with joy. And a little dread, but mostly joy. Imagine a Fire Mario, an army of Koopa Kids, and even a party hat Pikachu. Who wouldn't want that? Well, some Amiibo collectors dreaded the hunt, personally. Some of my favorite memories of Amiibo include waiting in line with other collectors to score my favorite figures.
You really can't talk about Smash Amiibo without discussing the issue of supply and demand. Nintendo is notorious for short shipping and underproducing popular products. From the original Wii to the NES Classic, Amiibo were among the most infamous. In their defense, Nintendo is introducing a new toy line. One way to mitigate risk is to underproduce. That way Nintendo doesn't get stuck with expensive warehouse space being congested with unpopular product people don't want and stores can't sell. As it played out, Nintendo dramatically underestimated how well Amiibo would be received, and for well into Amiibo's first year, they enjoyed a 100% sell-through rate on several figures, meaning everyone they shipped out was quickly bought up. If you've seen any of my content here on Nintendo Wire, then you know it's nearly all been Amiibo and Smash driven. I started developing Smash Supremacy, an Amiibo fighting tournament to settle which Smash character is the best, all the way back when Amiibo were first announced. One of the limitations I encountered from a production standpoint was that I couldn't create an episode if I couldn't get my hands on the Amiibo, which in a number of cases proved to be more work than actually making the show. I don't know where most of you fall on this, but I really did not enjoy the hunt, so to speak. The scrambling, scalpers, and scarcity of Amiibo at launch, and well through Wave 4 of the Smash line, left me feeling pretty sour some of the time. I feel really bad for the 10-year-old kid who dreamt of a Lucario at launch. It's hard enough as a kid to come across $14 without having to contend with stiff competition from collectors, scalpers, limited supply, and store exclusivity. It'll be interesting to see whatever route Nintendo decides to go with Smash Amiibo, if they can find a more effective way of making it available to their consumer base.
Now the next possibility is something new altogether. This is something that I've thought about for some time now, and if Nintendo really wanted to change things up, they could go the Mario Sports and Animal Crossing route and release an entire series of cards. While personally the idea of cards is nowhere near as appealing as figures, it really does open up the door to some interesting possibilities. Not only could we see cards for every single fighter, but we could even get alternate skins for each one too. That could be up to 8 different cards for each of our fighters. Now, if Nintendo did go this route, chances are we would see blind booster packs like we've seen in the past with other Amiibo card launches. Yes, I know this would add a lot more randomness to Amiibo collecting, but if implemented correctly, it could also be an interesting new mechanic to the game. I mean, imagine if Nintendo added a new strategic mode to Smash Switch, where fights could be turn-based and driven by cards. Obviously, this would just be a game mode and not the entire game of Smash, but still, it would be a really cool addition to Smash Switch.
Blind Smash Bros. Amiibo card packs would be very frustrating to me, and I imagine a lot of other collectors as well. I actually think it comes off as very manipulative to lock content or features behind a particular card and then ramp up the difficulty of acquiring said card by adding an additional layer of uncertainty and randomness to each purchase. While I personally prefer the figures, I think Amiibo cards offer a lot of distinct advantages. One of the distinguishing features the Switch has over the Wii U is you are no longer tethered to your television. I presume most Switch owners do a portion of their gaming portably, and Amiibo figures aren't exactly easily transportable, so your Amiibo adventure is limited to however many you feel comfortable carrying, but cards can be very small and conveniently stored. They certainly lend themselves much better to the grab-and-go image and reputation Nintendo's been pushing for Switch. Not to mention, cards are much less expensive to produce, a savings that would likely be passed on to the consumer, allowing you access to more characters and features with less strain on your wallet.
So, now that we've gone over what Amiibo might look like in Smash Bros. On Switch, next let's talk about how they might be implemented in gameplay. While Amiibo's support in Super Smash Bros. On Wii U and 3DS was robust and, in my opinion, fun, it was definitely missing a few things that could have made it even better. With Smash Switch, I would imagine that Nintendo would implement online Amiibo battles and tournaments to allow trained figures to duke it out all over the world. However, with rampant Amiibo cloning and NFC hacking, Nintendo would really need to step up and police the service so it doesn't get overrun with hacked fighters. New Amiibo-only game modes would also be a fun addition to Smash Switch too. Like I mentioned before, a strategic game mode similar to chess could be an innovative way to play Smash. Nintendo could even implement some sort of a support item similar to Disney Infinity Power Discs to support a fighter in battle. This could come in the form of a card or maybe even figures of popular items. While this would add a whole new level to Amiibo collecting, in my humble opinion, it would be a lot of fun if done correctly. Don't get me wrong, I want to mention this one more time, I would much prefer figures in Smash Bros. Switch, but if we only had the option for cards, I'd have to be an optimist and see what Nintendo has to offer.
I was so drawn to the idea of a Smash chess mode that I actually created a trilogy of games myself, casting my amiibo in various roles, assigning hit point values to each of the pieces, and instead of capturing an opponent's piece like in traditional chess, contested spaces on the board are settled in Smash. I would love if Nintendo put their own original stamp on a time-honored game like chess with a Smash spin. The customizable nature of Smash characters with respect to their in-game appearance organically gave rise to a robust community of customizers, including Kick-Ash, AK Shop, Gondacris, Evilos, Mr. Mordo, Pixel Kali, The Game Changers, Captain Alex, and Toby Thornton, all of whom appeared as special guests on my show Smash Supremacy. I've been known to customize amiibo of my own on my other show Custom Conquest, an amiibo customizing tutorial series. It all started because I wanted a Dark Link figure for a live-action Smash Bros. E3 trailer parody video, but as I found myself in need of a way to distinguish amiibo that were different in-game but identical figures, this led to a complete set of Koopalings, the whole Animal Crossing village, several different Toon Links, and even a personalized set of amiibo sword fighters in the likeness of Hero TJ and Dark TJ. Hands down, the handsomest amiibo in existence. Toby Thornton and I even teamed up to make a Skull Kid amiibo in a Custom Conquest collaboration. Nintendo really inspired me with the artistic impulse to create figures that they didn't. While the rise of amiibo customizing may have been an unintended byproduct, Nintendo loves innovating ways for people to experience their games and products. The most recent venture being the cardboard construction project Labo, and this got me thinking, what if, instead of offering amiibo figures, Nintendo packages together amiibo construction kits? They would include everything you need to make your own papercraft amiibo. It's easy to imagine how this could be implemented if they embrace card creation. Smash Bros. Already has a very versatile camera mode, including a virtual studio where you can set up trophies and figures as well as items to compose your own scenes to photograph. You can even save images to an SD card. Would it really be so outlandish to include a built-in amiibo card creator? Pick your pose, character, scene, text, save, export, and print. Nintendo could offer retail kits with cardstock pre-formatted for printing, throw in some decorative stickers and the appropriate NFC tags, and literally anyone could unlock their creativity, making amiibo more personal than ever. While the amiibo hunt might have been stressful, I'm truly very grateful for the friends I've made, memorable experiences I've shared with fellow collectors like my buddy Amiibo Jason here, and all of you player pals at home who've interacted with me here on Smash Supremacy, Custom Conquest, or Me. Here's to an exciting E3 where Nintendo will undoubtedly shed some light on the fate of Amiibo.
So now we want to bring it back to you. What do you think we're going to see from Amiibo in Smash Bros. Switch? Will Nintendo stick to new figures only, or might we see a new style of Amiibo altogether, like cards, or maybe even something else? Maybe you even have an idea for something we didn't even touch on in today's episode. Let us know what you want to see in the comments down below. That's it for today, guys.
We'll see you next time. Thanks for playing. Jason and I have had a ton of fun speculating on Smash Switch with you. E3 is right around the corner, and Nintendo is sure to provide answers to at least some of these questions. But before we head out to LA to see what the Big N has planned, Jason and I would like to invite you to our final pre-E3 Smash Switch speculation live. Stay tapped in for details about date and time, and let us know in the comment section what Smash Switch topics you'd like to talk over with us. I can't wait.